Hey, how's it going? And today I'm going to try my hand at constructing the Envirosphere or Skysphere all at once. Today I haven't. I tried to do it in two separate videos and I don't know if maybe people didn't like it that way, but I'm going to just try to do it all at once. So to start this, we're going to go create a ball and I'm just going to left click and drag and we're just going to go into the numeric panel here and just make sure it's all evened up. So we'll do 5, tab 5, tab 5, and I like to put 24 sides and segments each. And then I'll close this and I'll drop the tool and we'll go ahead and put this at F2 to center it. And the last thing we're going to do is we'll press F to flip the polys. Then before we send this over to layout and save it, I'm going to go into the surface editor and I'm going to switch this to standard here. And it doesn't need to be double-sided. We can click on smoothing. I want to go ahead and turn off the specular and turn off the diffuse there, and we'll put the luminosity to 100. Okay, and then I think we can just go ahead and save this now. This is kind of important here. So we're going to save the object as, and I'll just call this sky and save that. And what we're going to do now is I'm just going to close all and get rid of that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new object. So I'll come back to ball, click and drag here, and I recommend doing this as two separate objects. And we'll do the same thing. We'll do 5, 5, 5 like that, and we'll close this. I'll spacebar, drop the tool. We'll put this at F2 to center it, and I'm going to go ahead and make this window big right here. Make sure I'm on polygons right here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to right click and select the top polygons like that. Oops, that's points. I want the polygons, sorry about that. Select the polygons like that and delete those. And then what we're going to do is we're going to switch to points and deselect here, and I'm going to select all of these bottom points, everything except for the top. Then I'm going to hit T and hold down Control. I'll zoom in here a little bit. Hold down Control, and we're going to scoot this up to right about there. And then what we'll do is, let me scroll out here a little bit. We're going to come over to details, go to set value, and we're going to type in negative 0.04. Oops, I did that wrong. Control Z. I didn't put that on the Y. So set value, put it on the Y. Okay, and there we go. Now if we look at this, let me go back into my perspective view here. If we look at this, you'll see there is our plane. I'll go ahead and deselect the points, drop the tool, and hit F and flip it. Oops, hit F and flip it. And let's see here now. Let me make this window big here, like that. I did flip it, or did I double flip it? Let me see. No, I got it right. Okay. And with the polygon selected, we'll come here to polygons, and I'm going to select there and there, and we're going to go to select loop, and we're going to delete that. And do I have this centered here? F2? Yeah, I do have it. F2. Make sure it is centered. This doesn't look centered there for some weird reason. Okay, and that is that. So on this, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the surface editor, set it to standard. Here, we can turn on smoothing. And here, we're going to turn off the specular and put the diffuse to 100. And then what we're going to do is just send this over to, let me save that object. Save object as, and we'll call this floor 2, save, and we'll send this over to layout. And that should just take a minute. And let me go into perspective here, and there is our floor plane. It's very important that it stay below the y, below 0 on the y-axis. On its properties, we're going to come in here to render. Not render, we'll go into light, and we'll turn, is it light? Do we have to turn any of these off? No, we don't have to turn any of these off. But it is on render, we don't want it to self shadow, and everything else can stay the same. And we can go now and project a surface onto it. So we'll come up here and we'll search for image. Here, image, double click this, and we'll get a HDR image here. I have one here on the lonely road right here, and go open, and we'll go into edit image and make sure that it's set to linear, and make sure this is set to spherical on the Y, and plug this in like that. We should see the image projecting now. Let's see. Let me match my camera perspective here. And let's see what this looks like. Oh, we got to go into VPR. See, something's not right. So, I think I came up too far. So, what I have to do is go into the side view here, hit T, and drag this down a little bit. I don't know why that does that. We'll save object as, yes, and we'll just synchronize with layout, and then we'll jump back into layout. Okay, now we see it, and what we're going to do is we're going to scale this up, but let me go into perspective view here, and let me zoom out here a little bit. Let me get out of VPR for 1 second here. Okay, so on the scale of this thing, or stretch, we're going to go ahead and make this 50, 50, 50. Make it big, like that. And we're going to zoom out here a little bit. And now we're going to go ahead and load in that sphere. So we'll load object, the sky sphere here, open, and it looks really small. And what we're going to do here is we're going to stretch it up to, let's say, 40 40, 40. And we have to go into its properties here. And we don't want it to do anything here and turn all of this stuff off here. And we don't want it affected by any lights or anything, because it's going to be self-illuminating. And we'll come to the surface editor and we'll double click here, and I'll double click on image, and I can just load that image. It's already in here, and I should just be able to hook this up here. And we do need to project this spherically on the Y. And hopefully that's it. Now let me go ahead and go into VPR. And let's come down here. Let me look around. It's so interesting, isn't it? It's kind of like where the, you know, it looks like a movie set or something. Now I'm curious if I bring up the floor here. I can kind of hide that road a little bit. And let's take a look around here. I think it'll work better if I come over, that's this way a little bit more. I think I want to move over this way. Not sure what happened. I think I went out of the, I'm sure I went out of this sphere. There we go. And here we are. Let me come down. And that's pretty much it. So what this does, now let me pitch on this. It's a pretty wide road, and there are some things I could potentially improve on this, but just to convey the basic idea of what we've got now, let me get a model and bring this in, a cube, and I'm not sure where it's going to come in at. Where did it come in? It could it's really hard to know where it is. Where is it? So let me go into texture shaded mode here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So let me drag this up and move that away. And let's go back into VPR and take a look. There we go. Now if I come over here, what's cool about this now is that this is a complete 3D environment that we can walk on and animate on and do anything else we want to do. So let me just add a little animation to this cube. See, I don't have any animation here right now. So I'll just take this all the way. So I'm going to do 300. I'll just show you how I would render this whole thing out. So let's just put a little something on this cube because it's pretty generic looking right now. And I'll come over here and we'll just do checkerboard. And after this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to and we can just make this cubic like that, and I think we need to make it smaller, so we'll do 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, oops, 0.2, 2. And let's see if that's maybe too small. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's too big. It's covering, I'm too far into it. So let me see. Let's just do 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Is that too much too? Okay, let's do 2, 2, 2. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it. Hold on. I think there's something related to here. What happens if I... Oh, how did that get turned down? Oh, that solves it. Gosh darn. Okay. I don't know why that took so long to track down. Anywho, let's go into perspective here again. And let me match my camera. And then what's cool is this tracks on the ground with the ground. So let me just come to the end here. And all I'm going to do is just rotate this around a little bit like that. And maybe I'll adjust the bank a little bit. So we have this spinning cube here, like so. And to make it interesting, I can also go on the camera here. Okay, I got a little sidetracked there. Okay, that's one thing with LightWave is you can't make any errors. So we're just gonna zoom in like this and come in down low like that. And that is our shot. There we go. And then here under the file type, we can just make it a JPEG, and I think it'll render faster that way. And then I just go render scene. Yes. And that is all I need to do. Now this will take a while because it's a ray tracer and it takes a while for it to... I haven't tried this with Octane. But as you'll see, it's saying about 25 minutes. So in 25 minutes, I'll come back and we'll check it out. Now, when I get this out of here, I might do some color correction on this. But this is the basic concept. And the only issue you might have is with this horizon line, but depending on what the sky sphere is, you know, people won't even necessarily notice that. So this is pretty much the working concept of it. And as you can see, it took me a little while to get it all going. But I was just doing it from memory. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.